And welcome to the first week of Channel KRT's Holy Month, aka our own personal hell. I'm Tyler Green.
I'm Conniver von Villenquin.
So I guess heaven is our hell.
Yes it is.
Anyway, I'm Randy. Anyone else get a vibe from heaven the way it's described as one of those really fancy office buildings that's like really nice? It has like a cafeteria, but the cafeteria is all full of just candy or like protein bars, and the AC is on way too high.
And all they play is boring country music.
Not even like Muzak or anything, just generic like TikTok advertiser music.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned in the previous episode, we are going to be spending this entire month looking at nothing but bizarro-ass Christian content. So embarking with us on this journey today is a long-awaited returning guest. Please welcome back to the show, Wesley Boutilier.
Woo!
Hey, how's it
I got the
going?
name right this time.
It's a hard one. It's a disaster of a last name there.
Yeah, for the listener, last time he was on, I accidentally pronounced his last name as Boutilier, and then he had to tell me, "Oh no, man, you got my name wrong."
Not the first and not the worst screw up I've heard of it. So I'm used to it.
So, Wesley, what's your religious trauma?
I mean, weirdly enough, I was never like I went to church like my whole life as a kid. Like as a kid, I was always at church, and my mom made me do the youth group stuff and get confirmed. And as soon as I got confirmed, she was like, "All right, well now you can choose if you want to go." And I was like, "Okay, I don't want to go."
What was the point of that?
Nice.
What was the point of getting confirmed then?
I don't know. It just never did anything for me, but I don't know that it was because like any like particular reason. It was more just like, oh, this is boring. I'd rather do something else with my Sundays.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like maybe it's one of those branches of Christianity where it's like you can pretty much just do whatever the hell you want as long as you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, even if it's right before you die.
Yeah. So I can't believe it's been a little over a year since we last tackled Bizarro. I mean, I guess VeggieTales isn't Bizarro Christian content, but it's kind of the beginning of the pipeline, you know?
It's kind of like the only thing that crossed over, I feel like people who weren't religious families or anything, they had VeggieTales tapes.
Oh, absolutely.
And like it was just kind of everywhere. It wasn't like only delegated to church. Like
I mean, I was still aware of like certain Christian shows growing up. Like for example, you know, I have like very specific memories of just being up on Saturday morning and accidentally turning on TBN when they're showing Bible Man or Saltine. Which, yeah, we are going to be talking about those this month too. So
It's funny though, as a kid, I definitely remember some videotape from when we were in Catholic CCD, but I can't remember for the life of me anything about them other than they were cartoons and they involved Jesus.
You know, of all things I expected to follow up after our VeggieTales episode, I didn't expect someone to yell at us on Twitter.
oh god.
Well, so I'll go into this super quickly. So some guy who used to follow us on Twitter, we'll be generous and call him Craig. Craig got mad at us for an episode he didn't even listen to, started thinking because we have an edgy sense of humor, we're gonna be so mean to the Bible and everybody who follows it. Well,
Yes.
Yes.
It's the
Jink.
Literally, yes.
the whiniest fucking thread ever. Craig was just bitching and moaning like, oh god, why are they gonna be so mean? And then we blocked him. We didn't even bother responding to his bullshit. And he fucking went on a whole crybaby rant about it. Like,
Oh,
we
God,
were the
yes.
best of friends, guys. What happened?
We didn't even fucking know you.
I only knew you in passing. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he eventually got into a huge argument with Tony, and then it led to him deactivating his whole account. And this is probably going to give away who he was, but he said the funniest goddamn thing ever. It's time for this dude bro to hang up his fedora.
Good Lord, Craig.
Why are Christians being persecuted against? This shit. This shit is why.
Maybe worry about the ones in fucking, like, Ethiopia that are actually being persecuted.
The ones in Palestine, the ones in North Korea, for fuck's sake.
No, somebody made fun of Western Christianity on the internet and gay people are allowed to get married.
Like, motherfucker, I don't hate Christians. I don't hate people who are just happen to be Christian. I don't hate the ones who just happen to be Christian. Like, I know Weird Al's a Christian. He's not a dick. Alfred Molina's a Christian. He's a cool dude. You know who I hate? The fucking people in politics right now who are literally turning the country into a Christo-fascist nightmare. I hate the ones like Joshua Bassett who go on stage to fucking preach sermons. I fucking hate those types. So if you're getting so mad at the possibility we're gonna make fun of all Christians, even though we've made it clear which ones that we're talking about, that's a you problem, my dude.
Yes.
Yeah, hello. Witches, pagans, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, Catholics too, which, you know, okay, the Catholics are powerful enough that they kind of deserve it. But, anyway, every other religion, especially the marginalized ones, has been torn up, chewed up, spit out, then shit on since the beginning of time. You can handle it.
Yeah.
Western Christians, Western Catholics, you can handle it.
I feel kind of bad for devoting our topic already to no fun, but that's how this topic made me feel. Like Jonah, a VeggieTales movie, it had a problematic message and it overall was far from my favorite thing VeggieTales has done, but at least it wasn't hateful like this fucking thing was. Just...
I gotta be honest, I'm pretty happy that Jonah fucked around and found out that, you know...
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, you know. He literally saved a place full of people he hates just so he could see them be destroyed, and God was like, nope.
Alright, so getting into the first topic for Unholy Month, we are talking about a very, very obscure piece of media from 1983, Gingerbrook Fare, a VHS about obedience, starring clowns.
Yes, because if there's anything that says blindly obeying the authority and the status quo, it's clowns.
Clowns are all about rules.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how prominent clowning is in Christian communities. There
Yeah.
are just straight up ministries devoted to creating clown gags that spread love and tolerance and whatnot.
Can we get a live Judge Claude Frollo reaction on this one?
Witchcraft or clowncraft. I don't know. Yeah, and so there is no Wikipedia page for this movie, no IMDb. I can barely find any info on any of the cast members, although we did find there is one active online, and we'll have things to say about them. Was he the one who played Mick, or was it
Oh, he was Matthew.
Matthew? That
Yeah.
Matthew.
Matthew!
Don't be racist, Matthew.
Don't be racist.
Yeah, so I found out recently that the guy who played Matthew in this has a YouTube account where he reacts to current events.
Oh no.
Oh, I hate where this is going already.
He made a video apologizing, of course, apologizing in air quotes, to Black Lives Matter. And the apology in question is just 15 minutes of just the most racist fucking stereotypes imaginable. I'm not going to repeat any of it, but it's bad. It is.
Matthew.
Again, this coming from the religion that's supposed to be loving and tolerant.
And also I found a comment on one of the video uploads of this tape from this girl who said the guy who played Mick is her dad, and she said she grew up watching Gingerbrook Fare, and I'm just like, much respect to you. I'm sure you're a nice person. I mean, I hope you are. Are you okay?
You can't just say that and leave out every fucking detail that we're missing about this.
Oh boy.
Where was he on January 6, 2021?
So there's a Southern Belle clown character in this, and somehow she is less racist than Matthew.
I think she's my least favorite, though, I will say.
Well, does anybody really have a favorite clown from this?
No. Unless Conniver Von Villain counts, he is literally the only good part of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I will say there's some performances that I don't mind. Like, they actually are kind of giving it their all. I mean, no one's as fun as anyone from Clown TV, but
Exactly.
they are doing like a little something. But I rewatched the intro and was like, oh, who is my favorite clown? And I was like, I don't know if I really fuck with any of these guys.
Yeah, like you can tell that there was a lot of talent and effort put into this. That being said, I'm still gonna shit on it.
I will say that I'm choosing to believe that Blue is the Jodie Sweden of all these clowns. He secretly left all these clowns eventually to go on to be a gay communist pagan.
I feel like if you put the clowns from Clown TV and Gingerbrook Fare in the same room together, the Gingerbrook Fare clowns would tell them all they're going to hell solely for existing.
Yep.
Let's just say that if Clown TV is a drag performance, then Gingerbrook Fare is conversion therapy.
Don't you mean clown version therapy?
Queer people are losing their rights in the United States.
They use whatever that machine is that they kept talking about. What are they? I wish I had.
Gingerbrookulator?
Yeah, whatever it was. The machine that they never really say what it does. It just like made a projection of some words, and then apparently can also make presents.
They don't even show it. We're just supposed to believe that this thing exists. They never show it.
Also, I promise you that once they finally revealed every single person who insurrected the Capitol on January 6th, we're gonna find out at least one of these people was one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
My money's on Bubblegum. You never suspect the one with the puppet.
The puppet was the one who did it.
So, I should mention, technically, there is a series of Gingerbrook Fare videos and CDs.
Four!
Yeah, when I was looking it up, the main thing I was finding was like vinyl. Like you could buy records.
So these were put out by a Christian music label named Agape Land. And it originally started as a vinyl record put out in 1977, which I couldn't find on YouTube, so I don't know how it fares, really, pun intended.
You do not want to name anything agape, my dude. I know it's agape, but...
Yeah, so as Kit mentioned, there are 4 of these. One of which was on YouTube for a period. It was an episode where, if I'm not mistaken, one of the clowns, Peaches, pretends to be a red-nosed graduate, and it's basically a whole thing on telling the truth. It's just as stupid as this was.
Stolen valor.
It got taken down from YouTube, and y'all aren't missing much. The other one that's worth noting is, I guess, sort of a prequel called The Red Nose Express, which details how everybody got into the Mixed Junior Clown School and why Conniver Von Villain is who he is. And there's a couple things worth noting in there. One, first of all, there's an E.T. joke at the top of it.
Yo! do you remember what it is?
So, a lot of it takes place in a mental hospital.
What?
Obviously, this is going to be very, respectful to the mentally ill. And at the beginning, you hear like a Calling Dr. Fine-esque joke, but it's Calling Dr. E.T., phone home, phone home.
Oof. Not even a good joke. Just lazy.
The gist of this is that Conniver Von Villain gets committed because he got kicked out of Mixed Junior Clown School.
Oh, shit.
And he spends the whole thing retelling why he got kicked out, and it doesn't go anywhere. The only other thing worth of note is that in a song, Mick states that clowns and people are different from each other. That doesn't raise any horrifying implications.
Well, I can see why Matt turned out the way he is.
So is this movie in the Big Comfy Couch universe, and are they just regular people in it?
I would say that, these guys are the Westboro Baptist Church of the Big Comfy Couch universe.
Miss Missy, the clown housekeeper, is Granny Garbanzo's conservative twin.
They look alike.
So yeah, getting into this, we start off with a narration that explains that it's going to be Mick's birthday, and the kids are getting ready for it. Yeah, they're clown kids too, by the way.
I mean, yeah, they say they're kids, but they're so obviously grown-ass adults. Grease passed off adults as teenagers better than this.
Good God.
I was going to say, the term kids is used loosely.
I will give it the tiniest bit of credit. They didn't go with a stupid Mick thinks everybody forgot his birthday plot, but That's it.
Well, let's be real. What they do instead is equally as insidious, if not more.
Yeah, true.
Pretty much.
Okay, so maybe this isn't better than Little Mermaid's Island.
At least Little Mermaid's Island didn't tell us to just blindly obey authority.
What's worse, the birthday song in this or the birthday song in Little Mermaid's Island?
Yes.
I don't even remember the birthday song in this, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think my mind kind of like repressed every song from this, and I finished watching it today.
Oopsie and Poopsie have the best birthday song.
All of these fuckers deserve to get ice cream stuck on their noses, and then ripped off painfully.
Also, was anybody else getting Zippity Doo Dah at Home vibes from the theme song?
Oof, yeah.
It's gonna be quite a day. I'm gonna be on my way. Get a load of the mood I'm in. Get a load of my silly grin. It's gonna be quite a day. I'm singing a hip hooray. Get a load of the mood I'm in. Get a load of my silly grin.
What was with like the 80s and 70s and 90s having the same fucking choir for everything? I swear to God, I could not tell the difference between this and the Dumbo Circus intro.
Oh my god, you're right. That's what I was trying to think it reminded me of. And
Yeah, they all sound the same.
it's because corporate synergy was all over the place then.
Synergy! Because fuck you.
Another thing I've noticed about this too is that the clown makeup in this is just really uninspired.
Yeah, it's a little basic, especially, I don't know, it's not creative.
A lot of it is just expressionless. Like 90% of it is just a white face and like freckles drawn on. There's like nothing else that like exaggerates like the mouth or like the eyes or anything.
Matthew has like weird something painted on his face, like a flag or something, or like I don't even know, like weird rectangles.
It's his cutie mark.
Yeah, it looked like, I swear, it looked like he had the fucking like Swedish flag painted on him or something.
So their whole point of going to clown school is so they eventually get their red nose. So do they, one, get the red nose handed to them and then they just put it on? Or two, does it sprout out of them horrifically like a cutie mark does? Actually, I don't want to know.
Well, you see in the movie that Mick's nose is held on with strings. So what I'm assuming is that they get the red nose, but they do what they do in the Eli Roth movie and just glue it on their faces permanently.
There's a ceremony and they tear off their regular nose.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
All of these clowns look like if somebody merged Bobo the Clown from UHF and the Doodle Bops together. That's what I was getting the vibes of.
I will not accept any Doodle Bop slander here.
Yeah, this was giving me Doodle Bop's vibes, I will admit.
Alright, fine, it was giving Doodle Bop's vibes.
Also, all of them deserved a frying pan to their face as well.
So I've noticed that the hierarchy of students is kind of the same as it is in Victorious, and that the show primarily focuses on a small group of students, while the other students there are just basically background props / shruggers.
I don't even think we saw other background characters. Like,
You have main boy, main girl, main boy 2, main girl 2, dumb boy, dumb girl, crazy teacher.
all of these characters just blended in with each other, and I guess it was kind of cool seeing some of the settings of Circus World, but they focus so much on the damn caboose, it's like, what is even the point of filming it here?
Yeah, one, this claustrophobic ass caboose that half of the movie takes place in.
If you went to a public school that had the trailers outside and you'd have to like have
that's what I
some
was
classes
thinking
in
of.
a trailer, it was exactly like that. I remember going to classes in a
God.
trailer like that.
Did they have those in the 80s? Because those, I noticed they became way more prominent in the early 2000s.
And two, this was filmed at Circus World in Haines City, Florida, which, of course it's Florida.
They film in Circus World for like 5 seconds and reuse half the shots in the same song.
Guys, this is footage of Ron DeSantis' education system.
I got excited at the end when it was like filmed on location at Circus World in Florida, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta go to Circus World!" And then looked it up to find out, oh, it closed in 1986.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Thanks, Disney and Universal and SeaWorld.
Nah, I think this tape was responsible for Circus World closing. Like,
No, you're right. If they had filmed this shit at the Magic Kingdom, it would be on an episode of Defunct Land.
Oh, God. Which, funny enough, the first owners of Circus World were Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circuses.
Yeah, which is so crazy. So you'd think that there'd be, like, better clowns, like, in this. But it makes me wonder if Gingerbrook Fare was actually associated with Circus World at all, or if they were just like, hey, we're a clown thing. Can we film our clown thing here? And they were like, sure, I guess.
You think we have time to find quality clowns when we're busy over here torturing elephants?
Oh.
Yeah, I saw some clips from Circus World, and it was like the saddest polar bears you've ever seen that are just like stuck living in a failing Florida theme park. You're like, oof.
You gotta keep up with the theming. If the animals are happy and well cared for, then it takes you out of the illusion that this is a circus.
Anyway, who wants to ride the Zoomerang?
Yay! Yeah. I swear to God, every year I find a tape that makes me sincerely apologize so hard to Zoobly Zoo. At least there was a lot of effort put into Zoobly Zoo.
It's just that now I have to say that out of every fucking thing we've ever reviewed, at least they don't teach you to just blindly obey authority.
Yeah, that was the weird part of this where I was like, surely they're gonna like explain this better. There's gonna be like a lesson, and it's like, no, just like any adult in your life, you have to listen to them and obey everything they say.
Let me go over some of the things that this special says vertebrim. You must obey because God set it up that way. God puts people in authority over you for your own good.
Which, you gotta love that they say, the people who are in charge of you are your parents, your youth pastor, your teacher, and I'm just like, boy, what a great thing to be teaching kids during a time when numerous sexual abuse scandals were being revealed by the church, for fuck's sake.
What? Nothing, a youth pastor's never done anything weird.
No.
It's all the drag queens. Wake up, sheeple.
Yeah.
And what makes it even worse is that there's a fucking joke where one of the clowns, Neon, says,
"Oh, I never knew that's what obedience was. Well, I always thought it was doing what you were told, so you wouldn't get clobbered."
Ha, 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 child abuse.
Again, this coming from the religion that's loving and tolerant.
Everyone who watched this tape as a child needs therapy.
Also, then they do a dumbass joke where Matthew overhears it as cobbler.
Get it? It's because he's stupid and the only thing he thinks about is food.
They also have a dumbass joke where Sunshine is basically saying, oh, we won't do it happily, but we will obey you. And I'm like, stop stealing my riffs. And then Matthew's like, she's so short, she wouldn't have any altitude, when Mick says something about attitude. And I'm just like, kill me.
Yeah, what is their definition of obedience? It's like doing? Oh my god, it's like weird. It's like culty and scary.
What I want to know is, between this shit and between the Stranger Danger shit, kids in the 80s must have been confused as fuck.
Okay, so their definition of obedience is literally written on the wall as, obedience is cheerfully doing what I'm asked to do, and doing it quickly because I love you.
Not cult-like behavior at all.
Definitely not guilt-trippy in the slightest.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we need Winnie the Pooh on this one.
I just imagine some Christian parent saying, like, I'm not letting my kids watch clown TV, those groomers. I'm gonna have them watch this, where their definition of obedience is, do whatever I say, and do it right now, quickly, because you love me.
Now, if you really loved me, you would obey me. And if you don't love me, you'll burn in the pits of hell for eternity.
Good God.
Mick is such a, like, gaslighter, like, manipulative dude.
I could not stand listening to Mick. His voice sounds exactly like the sarcastic guy in that one skit in Kids in the Hall, of like that one guy who couldn't express his sadness because he was so sarcastic.
I will say, at least they did have some good clowning stuff, like Mick on the were they on a unicycle where he was like riding on the guy's shoulder?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then the juggling was pretty good, but that was like the one guy who came in for like 2 seconds and that's all he was in.
Yeah, Beeper the clown.
I wonder if he's like a real clown who's actually like in circuses and stuff, and they were like, oh, we need someone in here who can like really juggle the hell out of these.
Yeah, I don't
pins.
know what the hell Beeper's deal was, but when he came in, he kind of had this vibe of, I down an entire bottle of vodka on my way over here.
He probably actually fucking hated Mick, but he agreed to do it because he was offering him like $40,000 or something. It's like, oh well, I gotta pay off my divorce somehow.
He's still brainwashed, so he's like, I have to obey.
If I don't obey, I'll burn in hell.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, when Mick is on the top of the unicycle at the end, when he's like, now if I don't obey Beeper, I could be in a lot of big trouble. I was really hoping it would go the Billy Madison route and he would just fall off and have an aneurysm.
He just fucking dies. And it's like that one fucking Malcolm in the Middle Family Guy clip with Bryan Cranston like, kids, we're free. We're finally free.
In all fairness, I wish that was how the show ended. Lois was a see you next Tuesday.
Yeah. So then going back to the classroom scene, so we're supposed to feel sorry for Mick because, oh, the students aren't obeying. When? It's just... So then he decides to tell them this fucking story.
Oh, God, the story.
Oh, the fucking king story. I'm fucking ready to roast this. This was weird.
You know, I've always loved Prince of Egypt, but you know what it really needed? It needed to be shot in a scary-ass location where it feels like the back rooms. It needed baby Jack Nicholson and some girl who looks like a Dollar Tree princess. We need a story about them not getting along while playing a game,
And you know what? It needs to be 80 yard worse than the 70s Godzilla movies.
And with terrible lip sync as well. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Also, these giant game pieces that are literally just people in silver paint looking like the fucking Tin Man.
Their entire life is misery. Like, I felt so bad for them.
And to make them move, the kids tug their arms, but it looks like the arms are doing fucking jerk-off motions.
Oh, by the way, that shit. Okay, so the story is, you know, the king is like, oh my god, I love my children so much, I'm gonna make them a game. Now, we never specify what the game is. It's just trees and rocks and these pieces that are just humans in cheap costumes and big dice. And there's rules, but they never say what the rules are, just that there's rules. So he leaves his children unattended with these fragile ass giant game pieces. And the boy is like, you know, fuck the rules. And the little girl is like, no, you can't fuck the rules. And the boy's like, watch me, bitch. And so the girl's like, all right, you want to go nuts? Let's fucking go nuts. And so they just, like, first of all, they, like, keep, like, abusing the fuck out of these people's arms. It's like the arm is rigid, and they keep, like, cranking it up and down. I tried doing that to my own arm, and that shit hurted.
And they do, like, a close-up on the game piece people's faces, and they just look, like, terrified, but they can't speak. They're, like, just being tortured.
Of course, they break, you know, the whole game, I guess, from doing this, and it's kind of implied that they explode, but it's quite literally just the pieces, like, you know,
Send the pieces to hell.
having like a standing seizure while there's a fog machine going on. And then the king comes back, and this is where shit gets weird.
And then the king just starts singing this fucking Bryan Adams ass ballad about how, oh, you guys didn't play the game right and I'm sad.
Even kings have hearts that really break, and breath that makes a sigh, and eyes that really cry. But my broken heart and all the tears are because I love you so.
Also, apparently the song is called The Kings Have Hearts, and I'm like, when are we getting Kings Have Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kings Have Hearts 2, Kings Have Hearts 1.5?
They do a close-up of his face, and he's actually crying. Like, no, not even like, you know, they like put some eye drops on him. The dude is actually crying. And I felt like I was watching a cult tape at that point. I was like, Jesus.
We gotta be nicer to kings.
This dude, legitimately crying, is like faded over with like the broken ass human game pieces just standing there with a fog machine.
Footage of King Charles after Diana fans roast him on Twitter.
Kings have feelings too.
Kings have feelings too, Meghan and Harry.
You know, it's at this point that you realize this really isn't about obedience as much as it is not questioning authority.
Oh, and the King story just ends there. It literally just ends there on the shot of this guy fucking crying in real life. And then Mick is like, the end.
And Mick is just conveniently leaving out the part where the king immediately just stones the children.
I think the King music video kind of goes hard a little bit. I think it looks cool. Like it looks freaky.
And then Mick is all, oh, it can only have a sad story, so you guys will learn. So he's admitting it's fear-mongering. What the fuck, dude?
Blindly obey authority or your life will be ruined. This isn't a cult, by the way.
Also, it didn't really work because as soon as they leave the classroom, they start fucking up again.
What's the villain's? What's his name? Like Villain
Conniver von Villain.
Conniver von Villain.
Conniver von Villain, who, by the way, has a really great entrance. Because he's just hanging out behind this horse carriage, and then he pops out, and you hear this royal fanfare.
Present? Did I hear somebody present?
Ten out of 10, best entrance.
So I will say, normally when any Christian like kids tape has a villain, I become immediately sus because I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna be like an atheist or a free thinker, isn't he?
He's just dollar store Snidely Whiplash.
Basically.
Yeah, he's just like a mustache twirling guy. Like
he's just a dick for dick's sake.
He looks like a human hamburglar, which I am glad they at least didn't make him into an anti-Semitic stereotype like, say, Risky Rat from Salty.
I gotta say, this was not Sacha Baron Cohen's highest point.
Someone was watching Wacky Races before they made this character.
Basically. Also, all these characters basically pick on Blue the entire fucking movie. Why?
Because they're talking about, you know, what they want to do for Mick. He suggests something, and they're like, no, Blue, your idea is stupid.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, Neon's like, hey, I know, let's give him our obedience for his birthday.
Terrible gift.
Not a cult, not a cult, not a cult, we're not a cult.
Also, the entire episode they're talking about Mick's birthday, but then regularly they're like, we forgot the food, we forgot the cake, we forgot the presents. I'm like, you guys are only talking about his birthday. You really didn't like put much thought into it.
Also, like, if you knew it was his birthday, why are you waiting until today to plan everything?
Because, Randy, today's special is his birthday. Remember the song?
So Conniver tries to convince the other clowns, hey, water under the bridge, you should listen to my great idea and use the machine. And he's actually giving good advice that sometimes rules don't mean shit. But it's like, no, rules mean everything. Which I'm not saying they're never important, but come on.
You can never question them.
I can agree with the rule of, you know, don't touch heavy machinery if you're a fucking dumb shit kid.
Yeah.
But, like, also, like, he's telling them, you know, you should disobey your teacher and touch the machine anyway. And I'm like, what's he getting out of this?
See, to fix this whole tape, they should have just done it as a reenactment of every European work safety PSA. Genuinely terrify the kids into following basic safety rules.
Maybe that was his plan, because we don't see the machine. I was thinking the same thing, like, what does Conniver get out of this? Like, just making them break the rules?
Yeah, they build up this whole scene like they're actually going to have the kids do it. And they don't.
Because fucking Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas has shown up to be my paralysis demon yet again.
The fucking wisdom tree.
You know what? I'd like to apologize to Grandmother Willow. Grandmother Willow is nowhere near as terrifying as the wisdom tree.
She made me miss the tree from We Sing and Sillyville. That tree at least had some dignity.
The only negative comment I saw on YouTube was somebody that was like, how did they not notice that big-ass tree standing there?
Also, what I'm wondering is why didn't the tree step in when fucking McNasty or whatever his name was again?
Also, I get that they were trying to make her look like a tree, and I'm not necessarily saying that was their intention, although we never know. Did it look a little like brown-faced to anybody else?
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
Tree face?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Also, the nose looked really phallic.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, her name is Wisdom Tree. Is this the bitch responsible for all those NES games?
Yes, it is.
Well, thanks for Super and 3D Noah's Ark. That one's kind of a banger.
And then it cuts to a whole song where all they do is pick on Blue because, he isn't sure about the rules and he might have some different ideas. Blue, you gotta just blindly obey authority.
Free thinker! Crucify him!
God forbid you not conform to the rules and do your own thing. That's not allowed on these premises.
I guarantee you he's gonna slip. I even had a boyfriend a few years ago, and all these clowns are gonna react the way Candace Cameron did.
Where is the fucking sledgehammer lady from the Macintosh commercial when we need her?
Yeah, and in the song they're singing, "Oh, your time is come, you've gotta listen to your conscience or you'll perish." That was kind of the vibe I was getting from it.
Well, I mean, yeah, listening to your gut is always a good idea, but this isn't about listening to your gut. This is about blindly obeying authority.
This is another song that I totally forgot about, and I feel like Clown TV is, I'm biased when it comes to Clown TV, but I feel like that's like nothing but banger songs, and there's like two in here that I've been singing in my head throughout the day, but this Conscious one, you just reminded me that there was even a song about your conscience. I completely forgot it.
That's the thing. The stuff from Clown TV still lives rent-free in my head. Almost 2 years later, I still bop to the Tutu Twist.
Yes! And also a song about listening to your conscience. Don't make me just want to watch the Disney Pinocchio, the good one.
Yeah, this movie did need a clown playing with horse shit.
So then it cuts to the fucking scene where they go to mixed class with Beeper, and why the fuck are they trying to say...
Now, can you students imagine what would happen if I didn't have the law of gravity to apply to my juggling?
Yeah, you'd lose a lot of those little clubs.
That's not what the law of gravity is. It's not a law.
I was like, you don't have a choice. Like, you can't not follow it. It just happened.
This special implies that you could just be like, you know what? Fuck gravity, and just float away.
These people are going to start monetizing the mere concept of falling down, of breathing, like that one episode of SpongeBob, I swear to God.
Also, there's this stupid-ass joke where Beeper is juggling, and then it suddenly cuts to one of the pins being missing. It turns out Matthew is somehow on the rafters.
How the fuck did he get up there so fast?
The way that they cut to that confused me too. I was like, wait a second, what is happening here? This doesn't add up.
Let's let him fuck around and find out. He can just fall from that.
He's not obeying the law of gravity.
It's too bad this is a Christian special. Matthew would make a great trickster god.
Oh my god, Matthew is a Loki variant.
Probably. I could see Loki, making a fucking YouTube channel being a weird Christian who's also racist, just for shits and giggles.
Oh, absolutely.
I stand Beeper, though. His juggling is very good, I will say. That was a highlight.
He actually does clown stuff. What a shock.
Yeah.
Also, I think that's the only time they film in the big-ass tent that Circus World is known for.
Yeah, they were probably like, we got another show at 12:30. You guys better get the hell out of here in 10 minutes.
We were only able to afford 15 minutes in this thing.
Side note,
back to the trailer.
I just learned there's a place called Circus World Museum in Baraboo, Wisconsin, and I'm just like, I'm so disappointed they didn't turn the actual Circus World in Florida into a museum, because you have no idea how many people would visit that, like that clown hotel in Nevada.
And here's the taxidermied remains of the animals we tortured.
Did you see that SeaWorld bought Circus World and turned it into a baseball-themed theme park?
Oh my god, they did?
Yeah, that's what happened to it, which I don't think that's open now either, but...
Yeah, probably not.
Yes, because when I go to SeaWorld, the first thing I'm thinking is, they really need a baseball field here.
It was the weirdest thing. It was just completely baseball themed, but it was mostly just the same roller coasters that Circus World had, and then they built a huge baseball stadium, which makes no sense because who are you gonna go see play baseball?
The whales? Are the whales playing baseball?
Well, this was still its own place. SeaWorld just owned it, but Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you can't make it into MLB, you can go like play staged baseball games at the baseball theme park, I guess.
And then Disney ended up doing the exact same thing, but kind of better.
In the words of Frank Sinatra, send in the clowns. Give it back to them.
Send in the clowns, not the killer whales.
So then it cuts to them deciding, oh, we finally decided what we want to give Mick as a birthday gift. And they make Miss Missy buy it for them.
Well, I assume she's probably the only one of these fucking clowns that has a car.
They could all fit in it, though.
So she has to earn a red nose to be the school maid? How does this work?
And she looks like Yubaba from Spirited Away.
She looks like the clown version of if every single one of the Sleeping Beauty fairies fused together, but it didn't go quite as well, and their minds are still clashing with each other, and it just results in endless panic and anxiety.
And also the implications of giving our obedience as a gift and a bell that basically makes them all come when he rings it. It's like, I'm just saying, eventually we're gonna find out Mick was on Epstein's Island using that bell.
Oh no.
Oh god, now I feel really bad for the next joke I was about to tell.
Oh dear.
Say it.
Is this a Christian special, or is this like a weird BDSM porno?
Alright, so this is where the special gets really infuriating. Because as we find out, they get the bell from Mick, and Blue's like, oh, it was my idea. I'll take all the credit for it. And then Miss Missy is like, okay, Blue, you can take the bell and polish it then. And, he doesn't want to because he's actually, good at decorating, but they don't recognize that at all. They just want him to polish the stupid bell.
Yeah, you have tons of other people here who could take care of the stupid bell. Let him do the decorating. He's completely in the right here.
And Miss Missy is just so condescending about it when he questions her. And, it's just so fucking annoying.
But Miss Missy, you don't understand.
I think I do. Put it on the third shelf in the kitchen cupboard as soon as you're done polishing it.
Miss Missy, it wasn't all my idea.
Blue, what's obedience?
I'll put the bell away.
And then the narrator has the gall to put the icing on the cake and say,
so our young friend Blue seemed to be having a bad day.
And your condescending bullshit isn't helping either, so.
So they have this whole bit where somehow, I don't know how, the bell ended up getting stepped on because the elephant they have, it was near the water bowl. They explain it so shittily.
So, Blue is honestly kind of a dick here. And let me explain why. Number one, that is not a big bell. It cannot take that long to polish that thing. I have washed dishes bigger than that, and it takes me 5 seconds. It cannot take that long to polish a bell and put it on a shelf. Why is he so upset about this? Second of all, why are you leaving it near a giant creature with giant feet that crushes things?
Here's my theory. Blue was just so fed up with these assholes that out of complete spite, he deliberately left that bell there just to fuck with them.
Honestly, the first time I watched this, I mistook that Conniver had ended up messing up the bell, and that's what was going to be the reveal, which would have made sense.
No, Conniver just instead chooses to commit straight up terrorism. This dude went from 0 to 100 so fast. It started out with him just kind of convincing these guys to disobey their teacher, and now he's putting a fucking bomb in the trailer.
He was ready to kill them all.
That was my biggest gasp moment of the entire episode. The first was I had forgotten that this was a Christian clown show, so when they started talking about Jesus, I was like, oh my gosh, this came out of nowhere. But then the biggest gasp worthy moment though was when the next time we see Conniver, he just has a giant pipe bomb and is ready to blow up the entire place.
I'm sitting there watching it McVillain is back. What's he gonna do? Jesus Christ!
Just end it right there. Just have them all blow up, and then they all learn their lessons about obedience. If that story didn't have a happy ending, why does the whole tape have to?
It'd be like a series finale, like the dinosaurs finale.
Hot barbecue! Today.
Or the 2.5 Men finale.
Hot take, that finale was fucking great. Because 1, it pissed off Charlie Sheen. 2, it pissed off his enablers and defenders. And 3, Chuck Lorre got the last laugh. Cope and seethe, you losers.
Huzzah.
It's pretty good. Like, the amount of pettiness to, like, do that is pretty incredible.
It is the ultimate fuck you, and I am glad that Chuck Lorre took the W. I mean, it still doesn't excuse the other things, but, like, yeah.
Yeah. And also, you just know they're torturing that poor elephant wherever she is in the tape. Like, good God.
Yeah, if they weren't torturing her, Miss Missy definitely had that elephant sent off to the Ringling Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those tusks were coming off after that flattened the bell.
Randy, no!
Oh, no. I mean, I know they believe in corporal punishment, but that's a step too far, don't you think?
And so then Blue gives basically every YouTuber apology.
I'm sorry, guys. Really, I mean it. Why don't they believe me?
It's okay. It's 2023 now. If people don't accept your apology because you fucked up, just blame cancel culture and start making a comedy special called Anti-Woke or whatever the fuck. You'll get on Netflix and you'll get so many views and you'll get a book deal and you'll get an interview on Tucker Carlson where you can talk about how silenced you are.
Oh, hey, Blue's hanging out with Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan. How's that going?
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Well, we all know who the opening act of Joe Rogan's new anti-woke comedy club is going to be.
Probably Matthew.
You get your face scanned, and then that's how you get your big red nose.
You know, if I ever wanted to actually just see what's going on in there, I could easily just wear clown makeup, and now they can't find me.
And so then Blue decides to make up for the bell being crushed. He decides to give Mick his grandfather's whistle.
That we've never heard about up until now, am I right?
Yeah.
If they had talked at all about the whistle and how much it meant to him, and like, oh, my grandpa is the one who taught me the importance of rules or something, it would make sense, but it just comes out of fucking nowhere.
Now, here's what gets me. So early, like right when Blue fucks up, Miss Missy takes him out of the room and says, I think we need to talk, young man. Here's how I think that talk went. She took him in the back, screamed at him about how he's going to hell for getting some $5 bell crushed. And in order to repent for his sins, he needs to give up his important family heirloom. That's basically what I think happened here.
That sounds very evangelist. I gotta mention, by the way, the one part that unsettled me is while they were doing like the sped up decorating montage, there was like a specific camera angle in that trailer that made it look like surveillance footage.
Good God.
And I was expecting like a robbery or a shooting or something to happen.
I mean, they keep all the curtains closed while they're in the caboose. Like, it reminded me way too much of how whenever I pass the Scientology building in Sacramento, the windows always look blocked off. Like, you just know there's something going on.
Isn't there like cameras everywhere there too, and they're always like focused on whoever's walking by?
Yep.
Yep. But also, Blue, I bet your grandpa's gonna feel real fucking special when he finds out you gave away an important family heirloom to some asshole who wasn't even in the room when you were disobedient, again in air quotes.
Oh wait, hang on. It makes sense that they were showing it like surveillance footage. There was a terrorist attack in there, which, I gotta get into the bomb. So Dick Dastardly puts the pipe bomb next to the cake and he slinks away into the other room because, bombs famously only go off in one room. So then Miss Missy is like, oh dear, it's an alarm clock. I better go put it in the other room.
How stupid are you?
And of course, because bombs famously only explode in one room, of course, it just blows up in the room that villain McShithead whatever is in. And he's like, all cartoon, clothes torn up and burned or whatever, when I feel like he should be ground beef at that point. And so he runs away and they all laugh at him and they're like, oh, won't villain McConniver ever learn? No, probably not, because his name is Villain McConniver. You're not going to go up to someone named Coomer P. or an addict and say, dude, stop jerking off so much.
I found the source of the ticking. It's a pipe bomb. Hooray!
Yay!
That's what that was, basically.
There's like a cool tracking shot when he's like about to place it too. I was like, oh, this is actually a little suspenseful. It's kind of getting artsy here. Clown TV is better, but this definitely has more of a budget. And they'll like move the camera around and like get a little wild with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Why does this have a budget?
I don't know. I wonder if a church sponsored it.
Yeah, I mean, churches make a lot of money from guilt-tripping their members and saying, please give us money for the Lord.
Give us money for this clown show.
You know, I'm actually looking up Agape Force on Google, and one of the search results says, Agape Force Ministry is a teenage non-denominational ministry of CGMI saddled with the responsibility of grooming the next generation of...
Oh!
They're just outright admitting it at this point!
Good God!
Oh!
And they're still calling us the groomers.
So Agape Force is a place or a organization. This whole time I thought Agape Force was somebody's name. I was like, what a dope name.
It's the Christian equivalent of Alan Smithy.
I just want to ask, well, Mick wasn't even there when the shit went down, so Blue never even had to say anything to him in the first place.
Exactly.
So
it was such a vibe killer where he's like, happy birthday, and everyone's excited, and he's like, I have to say something. I have to apologize. I've been terrible.
He was literally manipulated out of giving away a family heirloom for nothing.
Just
imagine if someone walked up to you and said, hey, happy birthday, how are you doing? I just said a racist slur in a Twitch stream, by the way. I'm really sorry.
Well, he's not even specific. He's just like super vague. He's like, I did something and I disappointed everyone. I'm so sorry. It's like, oh, you're kind of killing the mood.
I genuinely do believe that Miss Missy legit manipulated him into giving Mick that fucking whistle.
Also, he blows the whistle inside, which fuck you for that.
Mick is Jeffrey Epstein and Miss Missy is Ghislaine Maxwell. Change my mind.
Neon is so weird. His vibe is strange to me because he's got like these biker goggles, but then he's got like the Cesar Romero mustache, and he's just, his whole vibe is off.
These are supposed to be kids, right? Why'd they put a fucking mustache on him?
I'm just choosing to believe this is Clown College, and I'm imagining that the whole origin tape is just them all saying, you people have stood in my way long enough. I'm going to Clown College.
Oh, I see. This is a Catholic clown university.
Yeah, that's the thing. These clowns don't really have any personality. And what personalities they do have are just so one note.
It's literally Victorious.
Exactly.
No, even Victorious actually gave characters some personality. Here it's just boy 1, boy 2, girl 1, girl 2, dumb girl, dumb boy.
Literally, like, for example, Sunshine the Clown has some personality, but that personality is just that she's smart and uses big words.
Basically, Peaches is all that she's a Southern belle. That's it.
Oh, wait, yeah, no, I forgot the other trope of a random genius character. Wait, if you have a genius on your team, then you should know how to use the combobulator clown whatever fucking machine.
Also, this might just be me, but did Bubblegum remind anybody else of Jenny Nicholson?
A little, yeah.
Like Jenny Nicholson in clown makeup and a pink wig.
She absolutely would have done a video on Circus World if it was still around.
She should.
In fact, she should just go to whatever baseball stadium it is now.
It's probably completely abandoned and just has like, I don't know, skeletal remains of an elephant somewhere.
I'm sure that's where they put all the corpses of the animals that SeaWorld killed.
I just know that's a place that would have been somewhere in the background of the Florida project.
If you see me with Tillicum's skull, no you don't.
So basically, you know my verdict at this point. Burn the goddamn tapes.
This is bad.
Congratulations, Big Rock Candy Mountain. You are no longer in the top 5 worst things I've had to watch for this podcast.
I mean, I'm not gonna go that far, but this is just an insidious fucking movie. It just comes off as wanting to have really well intentions, but just being so toxic about it.
Like, I don't want to be a dick to anybody who has genuinely good memories of this tape. If you genuinely...
I do. No, I'm kidding.
I do want to say, though, if you have good, quote-unquote, memories of this tape, are you okay? Are you safe? Do you need someone to talk to?
I could imagine liking this as a kid and just like all of the weird lessons and like Jesus stuff kind of going over my head and just being like, oh, well, I like clowns. I like some of the songs, like having a good time.
I did have a potty training tape that involved a clown. I'll have to figure out what that was.
Was that Bobby's birthday?
Yes! What?
I had that one. Oh my god.
That's the one where it's like, what? A super duper pooper.
Yeah, with the Mr. Conductor looking motherfucker.
Oh my fucking god. How did you just know the name of that instantly?
Because I own that one.
Oh my god.
We're more kinetically linked than we think.
My mom's been singing that to us when we get potty trained for generations. Well, there's generations being one millennial and two Zoomers.
Dear God. Also, no, we are not covering that because even we have limits.
Yes.
Yeah, we already know how to use the bathroom. We're good.
But yeah, just burn the tapes. This is just such a mean-spirited tape, and there is some talent involved, I will say. The singing isn't that bad, and even some of the clowning is fun, but otherwise, it's just a miserable fucking tape to get through, and it just has such a nasty message to be learning.
Just watch Jumbo Circus.
Agreed. At least that one might have some decent life lessons.
The episode ends with the group punishing Sebastian by exploiting his acrophobia.
At least watching that won't make me feel as dirty.
At least no racist crows.
Watch Jumbo Circus, watch Clown TV, watch anything but this.
No, please watch Clown TV.
Yes.
2 years later, I still think Clown TV deserves better.
Absolutely.
I will always keep the tapes to Clown TV.
I'm still waiting for it to catch on, like on TikTok or something. Like one of these days, there'll be like a Clown TV drag brunch or something.
Kit did post a Clown TV TikTok.
Yeah. It was of the get this ice cream cone off my nose scene. I was like, more people need to be aware of this, and also that would make an amazing sound.
I think I posted one too. I can't remember which one I posted. It was another oopsie and poopsie one though, because I was like, this feels like it would be a good TikTok sound.
Also, the fact that this has 4 tapes and Clown TV only has 1, come on.
That is a travesty.
Well, for what it's worth, I think one of the tapes is just a pilot that was like never released.
Okay, thank God.
Because it was on Matthew Jackson's YouTube channel, and again, that got taken down. But yeah, burn the tapes.
You know what? Rapture the tapes. Get them out of my sight. You know what? Go get salvated or whatever the fuck it is that happens when Jesus comes back. I'll be sitting here in my sin-filled life on earth, free of this shit.
Yeah.
Burn the tapes in the same place they were burning those Game Piece people.
Huzzah. Or those ET Atari games.
Oh, yeah. Well, Wesley, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, I'm plugging away at, I've been doing my little ET interview show over on my YouTube channel, Viewist, and it's been a while since I've dropped an episode, but I do have one in the can that I'm working on, and I guess I'll go ahead and tell you guys who it is, and hopefully I can have it up before this will light a fire under me to actually, like, hurry up and get it up. But I interviewed the guy who voices Botanicus on the ET Adventure Ride.
No way!
Oh my god!
Yes!
Ron Knight. I tracked him down, and he was super cool and talked theme parks and talked about what it was like recording it and all of that. So
God, you got to reach out to the what's his name, Kotzwinkle guy who wrote the Green Planet.
Yeah, I actually have, and I never heard anything back. So I may try that again. I've got a few people in the works.
No, that's great. All right, I'm going.
It's just been a matter of like, trying
2023.
to
Where do you
schedule stuff.
think we
But
are?
this one was a big get that I was very excited about.
That's so cool. Oh my god. I don't really have any social media at the moment, but if you do want to follow me, I'm over on MuppetVision_3D on Twitter, Mission Breakout on Twitter with a 0, although I'm probably going to be moving over to the public one by the time this episode's up. You can find me on Mission Breakout on Discord, and then you can find me teaming up with Conniver Von Villain and helping him start his Tumblr Sexy Man era. Look, he's got the top hat. He looks like the Onceler. He's on his way there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. You're correct to say that. Cosmic Rewind. Replace the E with the 3. Twitter and YouTube. I'm so tired. This is going to be a long month.
Only week 1, folks. Only week 1. Anyway, you can find me on the usual spots. Tyler FG on Twitter. Tyler FG96 on Instagram. You can also find the show on Twitter at channel_KRT. Channel KRT Podcast, all one word, on Instagram. We also have our Discord server and our Facebook group, which you can find in the link tree in our Twitter bio. And if you want to help support us, we have 2 options. First off, we have Patreon, where we have exclusive minisodes, outtakes, and episodes of this very podcast at its earliest convenience. And we also have Ko-Fi, where we have said exclusive minisodes at $5 a pop. And if you just want to donate money to us, you can just do that if you want to.
Hell yeah.
And of course, thank you so much to our pals Bennett Ballard, Chris Reyna, and Tony Goldmark for pledging to us the $10 level. And an extra special thank you to our executive producers, Mike and Gomer.
Thanks, guys.
Mommy don't know Daddy's getting hot at the KRT Unholy Month, doing something unholy.
Yay! Channel KRT, ashes to ashen, funk to funky. We know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out on heaven's high, hitting an all-time low.
What should we wish for wish number 3? Get this ice cream cone off my nose! A new unicycle? Get this ice cream cone off my nose! A shopping spree at Toys R Us! Get this ice cream cone off my nose!